Good morning and welcome to today's video from Yoker Evangelical Church. It's Tuesday the 16th of June today, and in our readings this morning we read Deuteronomy chapter 21 and Psalms 108 and 109. And in this video I want to talk quickly about Psalm 108. I don't know how you've found lockdown, but I think most of us are experiencing life under a lot more stress than normal. Inability to go out and do normal things and just being stuck in the house all the time has meant that so many more areas of our life are being put under a constant strain. Whether that is a marriage, whether that is just home life with kids or struggling with loneliness, whether that is a job where you've been put on furlough or are struggling to work from home, or whether that is your faith that's been put under stress as you're faced with the pressures of being at home all the time and being worried about your own health and the health of others. Every area of our lives has been put under more stress at the moment. And this morning I want to ask the question, what do you do when you're put under pressure? And I have to be honest, my immediate reaction normally is to try and fix it myself. When I see areas of my life that are being put under stress, where I see things that need to be fixed, I am so often quick to try and fix it myself and to rely on my own strength. In a sense, I rush in to fight the enemy with my own ability. In this psalm that we're reading today, David was facing enemies as well. And I'm sure that the temptation for him was to try and do it himself, was to rush into the battle under his own strength, his own ability. But that's not what he did. We read in verses 12 and 13 exactly what he did. He calls to God and says, "Give us aid against the enemy, for human help is worthless. With God we shall gain the victory, and he will trample down our enemies." You see, when faced with the struggle, David's response was to turn to God and to trust in him. That's why he is able to say, "With God we shall gain the victory." Now it is worth saying that when David says in verse 12, "Give us aid against the enemy, for human help is worthless," that can sound quite harsh to our ears. We hear that and think, oh, that's a bit rough on human help. People try very hard. And I don't think that the psalmist is truly saying that human help has no worth at all and should be completely disregarded. But he's using poetic language to show that compared to the help that God gives, human help is not worth very much. And that is not to belittle human help, but instead to elevate how highly we view God's help. It's not to say that human help is of no good, but it is to say that God's help is of infinitely more worth. And because of that, we, like David, can trust in God when we're facing enemies, when we're facing stresses and strains in our life, that we can trust in him, much more than we can trust in human help. That is why I think verse 13 in particular is something of a mantra to us. It can help us in the struggles that we face today. When we're facing trials at home, we can say, "With God we shall gain the victory, and he will trample down our enemies." Or when we are facing struggles in our faith, when we're finding it difficult to live for him day by day, we can say with David, "With God we shall gain the victory, and he will trample down our enemies." With God is the key there. That we will work valiantly, but the victory belongs to God. It is his work that matters. And that just encouraged me today to keep going. To keep going with all the stresses and strains that life is full of at the moment. That we can be assured that with God, we shall gain the victory. I hope you have a good day and that you keep trusting in God. God.